Hi, I'm Dr. Bridget Finn. Welcome to Women Becoming. This is the show that celebrates and supports women as we navigate our journeys of transformation and reinvention at midlife and beyond. Welcome in. There's more to life than folding blue socks, a woman's midlife epiphany. I am one of 4 kids. We went to Catholic elementary and high school. Our school uniforms always had blue socks. Doing the math, with 4 kids, each wearing a pair of blue socks 5 days a week, that's 20 pairs per week and about 80 pairs per month of blue socks in the laundry. And one day, as my mom was methodically folding the seemingly endless pile of blue socks, she glanced up at me and said, "There's got to be more to life than folding blue socks." I know that moment of clarity and consciousness struck her deeply. It ignited a desire in her to pursue her passions and dreams beyond the confines and repetition of domestic chores. Reflecting back on that day with my mom, I realized that I had witnessed a powerful epiphany and one that would inspire my own journey towards my most meaningful and purposeful life in my wisdom years. So lo and behold, 40 plus years later, I had my blue sock moment. I found myself at a similar crossroads as my mom decades earlier. It happened while I was sitting in the lobby of a doctor's office. In my moment of clarity and consciousness, I was deeply aware of my profound yearning for something more. I could feel it in my body and in my bones. And I too said aloud, "There's got to be more." And in that moment, I remembered my mom saying the same thing decades earlier. I thought, wow, this is what she meant. This is where she was at that time. This is what she was feeling. Whether it's while we're driving in the car, sitting in the office, waiting in a lobby, folding laundry, stirring our coffee, taking a bath, whatever it is, our blue sock moments are the moments when our lives and our spirits and our desires are calling for more. And there's a consciousness of this stirring. There's an awareness of this yearning. The genie is out of the bottle, so to speak. These moments of clarity and consciousness can feel spontaneous, but they're really thoughts and desires surfacing that have been quietly unfolding and becoming beneath our awareness. What seems like a sudden revelation has really been taking root for some time. I was around 10 years old then, so of course I didn't know this at the time, but it was that day with my mom and the blue socks that the seed for Women Becoming was planted. Welcome into episode 1 of Women Becoming. There's more to life than folding blue socks, a woman's midlife epiphany. I'm Dr. Bridget Finn, your host. Accompanying women through their transformative midlife chapters and supporting and celebrating women on their journeys of midlife reinvention and evolution is my passion. Wisdom years are a powerful time in a woman's life. The wisdom years offer a profound invitation to rediscover ourselves beyond the familiar boundaries of our professional and personal personas, and to listen to the whispers of what else might be possible, even after all these years. We emerge from decades of care for others. Perhaps we're raising children, maybe we're caring for parents, we're building careers and businesses, we're running households, we're supporting partners. There's space suddenly to hear our own voice again, asking, what about me? It's a deep soul-stirring journey that can touch the bedrock and the foundation of our identities. It can touch every dimension of our being, from relationships and purpose to power and inner wisdom. It's a dynamic metamorphosis that moves and flows, and it's always finding new channels and avenues of expression as it moves through time. Day to day can feel very different. It's profound, it's multifaceted, and it's dynamic. Ultimately, though, it's a reminder that our story isn't finished. Our identities and purpose can shift and grow, and more chapters are there for you to create and enjoy. Okay, so the horse is out of the barn, the bell can't be unrung, and now we're going from now what to look at me now. It can feel inconvenient, disruptive, elusive, uncertain, lonely, scary, isolating and exciting and exhilarating, expansive, all at the same time. There's an urgency, there's a restlessness, there's a stirring beneath your surface. We're breaking free from long-established patterns and roles. Grief and relief is also part of your journey. We're grieving the loss of our youth while we're simultaneously feeling liberated from the pressures and insecurities of our younger years. There's rage at this point in life, fresh and new accumulated anger at societal constraints and misogyny and patriarchy, dimming our lights for far too long. We feel an expansiveness, like we're getting larger, we're more interesting. We're impatient with superficiality, unnecessary obligations, and any and all bullshit in general. It brings all the feels, these journeys of transformation. And why wouldn't it? We are reclaiming our authentic selves and embracing our true essence. We are both creating a new relationship with our personal power and claiming power that was always there. Our awakenings, our yearnings at midlife are both endings and beginnings. An end to settling, playing small, holding back, holding on. The beginning of curiosity, of permission, of consideration, and of claiming. Remember, your moment of clarity and consciousness is not a crisis. It is a moment of recognition, and it's uniquely yours. This is a shared experience, these journeys. The questions keeping you up at night, the restlessness that's crept into your quiet moments, these are shared by countless women who stood where you are, myself included. You're not losing your mind, even though it might feel like it. You're actually finding your path. I've worked with hundreds of women over the past 30 plus years who are coming into me feeling too small for their expanding spirits. Maybe they want to revisit past dreams and ambitions that were set aside or never pursued, or they want a new direction or experience professionally. Perhaps they've been looking for deeper connections in and out of the bedroom, new, inspired, exciting levels of sexual and/or emotional intimacy in their personal lives. Women asking, what is my purpose beyond traditional roles as caregiver, partner, mother? Perhaps they come to me saying, should I date again? Do I want to be single again? Let's talk about financial empowerment. Perhaps I'd like a lifestyle change for my health, or to enjoy some new adventures and some new interests. Travel, new friends, new opportunities. These transformations affect us from the physical to the emotional, the sexual and the social and the professional and financial parts of us. All of it is open to change. And when we start tinkering in one area, all of it is impacted. And all of these feelings, all of these thoughts, all of these quiet moments happen as life goes on. We're still caregiving, we're still working, we're still trying to do all of the things that we were doing while we've had our moment of clarity and we understand that we're in a journey of what's next. For me, my own journey, my truth was that I was yearning for a shift in my work. My professional life was feeling too small. My desires and wishes for new possibilities and endeavors were expanding. I wanted a new, fresh direction, a greater purpose, and a deeper satisfaction professionally. My professional identity and role, I so carefully constructed over decades, started shifting a little bit. I had an undeniable desire for a professional change, and this brought forth so many profound questions about my identity and my purpose at this point. New possibilities were being revealed to me, but also stirring simultaneously were deep uncertainties about my identity, my worth, my value, my capability, and purpose at this time of my life. Me and all these other women, right? Feeling and concerned about the same things. None of this is surprising. We know that when a woman at midlife begins questioning her long-held professional path, it's rarely just about the job. And that was certainly the case for me. My yearning for change cut straight to my identity. My longing for deeper professional fulfillment at midlife cracked open larger existential questions. I wondered, is it too late to reinvent myself? And what would that even look like? Who am I beyond this professional role that has defined me for decades? And these are the questions all women are asking. What talents and desires lie dormant within me, waiting and wanting to be expressed? And what would it mean to leave behind my known, successful identity, my defined role, for something that calls to my soul. Ultimately, this wasn't just a career crossroads for me. It's important to understand that when you have your moment of clarity and consciousness, you're going to be going through a journey that is going to feel like a whole lot of stuff. And at the end of it, and when you get to from now what to look at me now, maybe you just needed some tweaks. Perhaps you were looking for some balance in your life, or more of a blend in your life between professional and personal, or maybe you just wanted to blow it all up and you were going from professional to personal to all kinds of experiences. Again, the journey is uniquely yours. You'll come to feel what it is that you're looking to change and expand. So now we've had our now what, and it's time for metamorphosis to meet patriarchy. Understanding women's lived experiences of and with midlife journeys of transformation means understanding the context and framework within which these journeys are lived. Our journey through now what, to look at me now, must be considered within the context within which it's occurring. All women exist and become within an oppressive patriarchal system. All women share the trauma of oppression. The way in which and the degree to which patriarchal oppression is experienced, of course, varies significantly based on a woman's intersecting identities of race, age, ethnicity, culture, socioeconomic status, disability status, education level, gender identity and expression, and sexual orientation. These factors don't operate in isolation, but rather intersect to create unique experiences of patriarchy for different women. The deepest trauma women experience under patriarchy is that our lives, our bodies, and our minds are not as valuable as men's, that we are worth less. From moment one, the message is, we are worth less. It is within this paradigm, within this construct and framework, that women become. At midlife, women confront these obstacles and burdens of patriarchy more acutely as we seek new possibilities of purpose and passion. And it can bring a painful awareness of how the beliefs thrust upon us have shaped our choices and our lives. Social norms, rules, expectations, standards of behavior, institutions, and practices perpetuate male dominance and the subordination of women. Political, economic, and social institutions are typically dominated by men. Power is held by men and transferred through male lineage. Women have limited access to positions of authority, resources, and decision-making. Patriarchy reinforces male advantage and female subordination. There's also a hyper-focus on our aging appearance and our changing body, right at the same time that it's been decided for us that we are irrelevant and invisible. So patriarchal messages of stay small, don't take up space, and prioritize others first are palpable. Misogyny and ageism tell us we're too old, expired, we're irrelevant, we're silly, and we're even selfish for wanting more and different. Societal expectations, rigid roles, and expectations limit opportunities and choices. We can feel the pressure of societal norms like prioritizing family and spouse or partner and caregiving over our own personal aspirations. With our career and our personal growth, there's barriers to career advancement that we've found through patriarchy. Discriminatory practices, gender and age bias in the workplace, and lack of support for women working outside of the home and caregivers, who are typically the women. All of this can hinder our ability to achieve full potential. Patriarchy works to undermine a woman's self-esteem and autonomy, fostering feelings of doubt and inadequacy. At midlife, women can struggle with reclaiming sense of self and asserting their independence after years of conforming to traditional roles. The economic impact is real too. Years of wage gaps, career interruptions for caregiving, and workplace discrimination compound at midlife, affecting a woman's financial security and professional options, just when we're ready to pursue new directions. When women at midlife express a desire for more, a desire for change, an insistence upon sexual agency and bodily autonomy, more and new opportunities, we can be met with criticism, discrimination, male violence, and dismissal. So just as women are at a new height, notice I didn't say peak, of wisdom and confidence, of power and expertise, patriarchy decides we're invisible and irrelevant. Our wisdom is dismissed precisely when it's the most profound. At this time in life, women are calling bullshit on the tired, old, oppressive narrative that tells us that our aging comes with our irrelevance and invisibility. What we know to be true is that women in the wisdom years are unapologetically creating happy, healthy, inspired, vibrant lives, and we're doing it on our own terms. It's not personal issues that are holding you back. There's nothing wrong with you. Our journeys of transformation and awakening demand that we address the cumulative effects of patriarchy, ageism, and misogyny. Recognizing that the cumulative stress and emotional toll of navigating a patriarchal society can impact a woman's physical and emotional health. So, generalized strategies and suggestions for women at this time of life have their place and are certainly helpful. In addition, intersectional considerations that acknowledge the burdens of patriarchy and respects the diversity of women and experiences is required. By recognizing the influence of patriarchy on women broadly and to us personally, we can support women in breaking free from limiting beliefs and societal norms. By recognizing context, we are empowering change. Patriarchy tells us we're past our prime, when in reality, we're entering our most powerful season. We've developed enough confidence to trust our instincts, enough resilience to take risks, and enough self-knowledge to recognize that more isn't about having, but rather it's about becoming. Women, you need to know this. The hunger shows up now because we're ready to feed it. I hope you enjoyed today's episode of Women Becoming. Remember, our story isn't finished. There's more chapters to create and enjoy. Our identities and purposes are meant to shift and grow at this time of life. We are going for empowered transformations where we are considering context. We are celebrating each other. We are supporting each other. We are sharing our stories. We are being seen. On the Women Becoming podcast, we share powerful stories of triumph and strength, of resiliency and courage. And these stories connect us, they inspire us, and they remind us that we're not alone in this. I invite you to join the conversation and share your story of becoming. Hit the link below, share, and subscribe. See you next time.